Picture this. The world is trembling. Stock markets are tumbling day after day. Prices of food, fuel, and housing are soaring beyond control. From the towering skyscrapers of New York to the bustling streets of London, from the factories of China to the farmlands of Africa, the pain of a global recession is everywhere. Jobs are disappearing, currencies are collapsing, and governments are scrambling for solutions that seem to be slipping through their fingers. But in the middle of this storm, one tiny nation on the northern coast of South America is doing something almost unthinkable. It's not drowning in the chaos. It's not struggling to breathe. Instead, it is rising. That nation is Guyana. And while the world is cutting back, Guyana is expanding. While the world is tightening its belt, Guyana is investing. And while powerful nations are desperately fighting to survive, Guyana might just hold a secret weapon that could protect it from collapse and maybe help pull the global economy back from the edge. This is not your typical oil discovery story. This is about smart economic warfare, using natural resources, diplomacy, and strategy like a master chess player. Because in the 21st century, power isn't just about having wealth. It's about knowing how to use it without losing it. So today, we'll uncover the true power that's keeping Guyana ahead and why, in the middle of a financial storm, the world's eyes are suddenly locked on this once-forgotten nation. Number 1. Guyana's rise from obscurity. A decade ago, the name Guyana was barely mentioned in global business meetings. With a population of just over 800,000, the country was known for its lush rainforests, mighty rivers, and Caribbean charm, but not for its economic strength. It relied heavily on agriculture, rice, sugar, bauxite, and gold mining, but growth was slow, incomes were modest, and like many small developing nations, Guyana struggled to create opportunities for its young people. Then, in 2015, everything changed. Oil giant ExxonMobil announced it had struck one of the largest offshore oil discoveries in recent history. Billions of barrels of crude oil lay beneath Guyana's ocean floor, enough to transform the nation's economic future overnight. But here's the turning point. While other nations in similar situations have fallen into the trap of easy money, wasting oil wealth on short-term spending and allowing corruption to run wild, Guyana began laying out a long-term vision. It was a vision to ensure that oil wealth wouldn't just fill government pockets. It would lift the entire nation and shield it from the kinds of economic disasters now crushing other countries. Number 2. The oil factor. Why it's more than just fuel. Oil is the lifeblood of modern civilization. It's not just what powers our cars or lights our homes. It's what keeps factories running, planes flying, and global trade alive. Guyana's oil is light sweet crude, a cleaner, more efficient type of oil that's cheaper to refine and in high demand worldwide. Even in a global recession, countries cannot simply stop buying energy. Factories won't run without it. Transport systems will collapse without it. Which means, as other exports suffer during economic downturns, oil remains one of the last commodities nations keep paying for. And Guyana's supply? It's exploding. From zero production in 2019, Guyana is now pumping over 600,000 barrels per day, and projections suggest it could hit 1.2 million barrels per day within the next few years. That's more per capita than most Gulf countries. But here's the twist. The oil itself is not the secret weapon. It's what Guyana is doing with the money that sets it apart. Number 3. The Sovereign Wealth Strategy. Guyana created the Natural Resource Fund, NRF, a sovereign wealth fund, designed to manage oil revenues with transparency and discipline. Instead of throwing money into flashy, short-lived projects, Guyana is building infrastructure, new highways, modernized ports, and expanded airports that will connect trade faster than ever, upgrading education and healthcare, training a skilled workforce that can drive industries beyond oil, investing in renewable energy, solar, hydro, and wind, preparing for the post-oil economy. This strategy mirrors the playbook of Norway, which turned its oil wealth into one of the largest investment funds in the world. Number 4. Food security. Guyana's forgotten power. While oil dominates the headlines and fills government coffers, there's another quieter force that could be just as important, and maybe even more critical in a long-term crisis. That force is agriculture. Guyana is one of the very few nations in the Caribbean and South America that can fully feed its own population. This is no small achievement. Many countries, even wealthy ones, rely heavily on imported food. They depend on international shipping routes, foreign suppliers, and global trade stability just to keep grocery store shelves stocked. But Guyana doesn't have that problem. From its fertile coastal plains to its freshwater rivers, the nation produces enough rice, sugar, vegetables, fruits, seafood, and livestock to meet its domestic needs. And it doesn't stop there. Guyana is not just feeding itself, it's feeding others. It exports rice to the Caribbean, seafood to North America, and sugar to global markets. Why is this so powerful? Because in a global recession, money loses value, but food becomes priceless. When economies crash, global supply chains break down, fuel prices rise, and imports get more expensive. Countries that can't grow enough food are forced to pay skyrocketing prices just to avoid hunger. Guyana, on the other hand, can stay self-sufficient. Its farmers, fishers, and food industries form a natural shield against inflation and shortages. Even if the world's shipping lanes slow or foreign suppliers fail, Guyana's people can still eat. And that's the kind of stability most nations envy. In a crisis, food is not just survival, food is power. And Guyana holds that power in abundance. Number 5, the Diplomatic Balancing Act. In today's tense geopolitical climate, most nations feel pressured to pick a side. Either you're aligned with the United States and the West, or you're working closely with China and the East. Choosing one often means losing the other. But Guyana has found a rare middle ground, a position of strategic neutrality that benefits from both worlds. On one side, it maintains strong ties with the United States. Washington sees Guyana as a key ally in the region, both for economic reasons and for strategic security, especially given the tensions with neighboring Venezuela. The U.S. has provided investment, security cooperation, and trade deals that strengthen Guyana's economy. On the other side, Guyana has welcomed China's infrastructure funding with open arms. Chinese companies have built bridges, highways, and port upgrades that are modernizing the country and making trade faster and cheaper. This balancing act allows Guyana to accept investment, technology, and expertise from both global powers without being fully dependent on either. It's a delicate game, but one Guyana is playing with remarkable skill. And here's the critical advantage. If global tensions rise between East and West, many countries will be forced to choose a side, risking trade cutoffs, sanctions, or political backlash. Guyana's neutrality gives it the flexibility to keep business flowing from both directions, ensuring its economy stays open, diversified, and resilient, even in turbulent times. Number 6, regional leadership. Guyana's influence is also growing beyond its borders. As an active member of CARICOM, the Caribbean community, and a player in South American trade networks, Guyana is in a unique geographical and political position. It literally sits at the crossroads of two regions, the Caribbean islands to the north and east, the vast South American continent to the south and west. This position makes Guyana a natural bridge between economies, cultures, and trade systems. During economic crises, regional cooperation becomes essential. Countries need secure food supplies, stable fuel sources, and reliable trade partners. Guyana can offer all three. Energy exports to fuel industries, agricultural goods to feed populations, transport links connecting Caribbean ports and South American markets. This isn't just about trade, it's about leadership. Guyana's ability to help stabilize its neighbors during tough times gives it political influence far beyond what most nations of its size could ever dream of. 7. The secret weapon revealed. 1. So, what exactly is Guyana's true secret weapon against a global recession? It's not only its oil wealth, though that's important. It's not only its agricultural abundance, though that's vital. It's the combination of all its strengths, working together to create something rare in today's world. Economic resilience. This resilience is built on 4 pillars. Energy wealth, always in demand, even in economic downturns. Food security, a guarantee of stability when imports fail. Strategic diplomacy, attracting investment from multiple powers without losing independence. Long-term financial planning, using oil money to build future industries, not just short-term luxuries. Together, these pillars form a safety net so strong that even if one industry suffers, the others will keep the nation afloat. While other countries panic and scramble when the economy slows, Guyana has multiple backup systems. And that is the mark of a nation prepared for any storm. The truth is, the world could soon face one of the deepest recessions in modern history. Major economies are drowning in debt. Trade wars are brewing. Energy prices are unstable. And global hunger is rising. But in this age of uncertainty, The strongest nations are not always the biggest, the loudest, or the richest. They are the ones that plan ahead, that diversify their strengths, and that refuse to be caught off guard. Right now, Guyana is doing exactly that. It's using its oil wealth wisely, securing its food supply, balancing global relationships, and investing in the future. And maybe, just maybe, the rest of the world should take notes. Because in this small South American nation, there might just be a blueprint for surviving the next global collapse, and even coming out stronger on the other side.